Today is Tuesday the 6th of February. It's a monumental day. It is day one of prep. The 2024 competition recap. We started prep on Tuesday the 6th of February. Starting body weight was roughly 101 kilos. Straight off the bat, we decreased calories by roughly 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day, both on training and non-training days. As far as the other intricacies of prep, we started on the standard 10K steps per day, also 3 cardio sessions per week. The first few months of prep were relatively cruisy. So in the first month of prep, we went to Sydney to see the Pies unfortunately lose to the Giants, but it was a nice trip away. And as far as this whole prep has gone, I've been able to show you how you're able to travel, prep, and still live your life and get in competition shape. Alrighty, touchdown Sydney. After 8 weeks of dieting, we entered our first diet break. What that meant was that we added an extra 200 carb daily, reduced cardio, and also entered a devolume phase. So that was 8 weeks, and that was at the start of April. We then repeated that exact same process, and which took us to the start of June, where we entered our second diet break, devolume week. So similar approach to that first one. Then fast forward to the end of June / start of July, we had our Noosa trip. So you would have seen all the Noosa vlogs with the family, which was very nice to head up there. Had my birthday, obviously had plenty of family time. About a week and a half up there. Didn't miss a meal, didn't miss a training session. We're on point the entire time whilst we're up there and had a lovely time. So we got back from Noosa at the start of July. Continued dieting for another month until the end of July. Then we entered our third diet break at the end of July. Pretty much a rinse and repeat of the first 2 diet breaks. Maybe just a slight change in terms of the additional calorie increase. I think it was 225 carb extra and 10 fat per day. Once that diet break concluded, I was roughly 90 kilos and we were 5 weeks out from the first show. All in the midst of all of that, Olivia was actually away for a month. She went over to France and I was at home prepping by myself. Not that that changed anything, but it just meant we were riding solo for that period. Olivia returned when I was 4 weeks out from the first show, and we're lucky enough to find out that in fact we're expecting a baby boy in March of next year. So that was some big exciting news. It's a bit of a prep excitement at 4 weeks out. So that really threw a bit of a spanner in the works, but not that it changed anything, but it was just a whole lot of excitement, emotions going on at that point in time. Fast forward, appointments, ultrasounds, all of that. We entered peak week for show number 1. Show number 1 was the NBA Victoria show on Saturday, the 14th of September. Now, reading from my phone, reading from my Google Sheets, we weighed in 87.3 on that day. So that was the first show. Given we knew it was going to be a long season and the goal ultimately was to bring our best package to WNBF Worlds, which was 10 weeks after the very first show, and we can't hold true stage conditioning for that long. We came into the first show, I wouldn't say at 100%, that's for sure. There was still room to improve our conditioning from the first show. So the first show, I'm obviously not going to go through the intricacies of what we did to peak and all of that. Refer back to all the peak week show day vlogs. I went through that, all of that in a fair bit of depth. Was lucky enough to take home the bodybuilding title and the overall at the Victorian show, the NBA. So this is the trophy I got for that. The Vic, you can see, Victorian bodybuilding overall. And this as well. Fast forward 8 days to the next show. There was no cheat meals, no off-plan food whatsoever in that time because we knew the job wasn't finished. So the next show, the A&B Victoria show on the 22nd of September, that was a Sunday, so we had 8 days in between the NBA show and the A&B show. Again, I was fortunate enough to take home the title of the overall bodybuilding champ and honoured to be awarded an A&B Pro card.
Unanimous decision made. Our judges feel you are pro-worthy. We would like to offer you an A&B Pro card, and we hope
that was the first 2 shows in Victoria, done and dusted. It was straight back to diet in. We had 2 weeks. We had 2 weeks for WMBF Australia. We flew up to Brisbane and then competed on Saturday, the 5th of October. Without a doubt, that was the most stacked show of the season thus far. Came up against some super awesome competitors up in Queensland. The calibre of athletes was on another level. Most of them were actually pros in other federations. Whilst I didn't actually place top 3, likely in that 4th position, which is I was extremely happy with considering the calibre of athletes there. It was also one of my better showings, and it was much improved on the NBA and the A&B show in prior weeks before that. Then, come home, go back to Brisbane a week later. NBA Nationals, Sunday the 13th of October. Now, we went up there for one goal and one goal only. The NBA Pro card. And took that home.
So, your overall bodybuilding Mr. Australia and new NBA Pro competitor number 117, Nick Hanna!
I was fortunate enough, again, to take home the bodybuilding overall title at NBA Nationals and obviously be awarded my pro card in NBA. Also was able to jump straight into the pro show. So obviously I've posted a video with all the clips and the live stream, which was amazing, on my YouTube, so go and check that out if you haven't already. I was on stage for a long time, so going into that pro show, you could say I was a little bit fatigued. Anyway, again, going up against pros, just won my pro card, ended up placing 4th behind some really awesome competitors again. So again, cannot complain about that. That was the Australian stint of shows. 4 shows, 5 weeks. 2 in Victoria, 2 in Brisbane. We then had 6 weeks between NBA Nationals and WMBF Worlds. Now the feedback that we got from judges, from people around, was that you need to bring better conditioning. And we knew that. The good thing about that feedback is that we actually had time to make those improvements and bring a better package and conditioning to the world stage. Not that the prep to that point was easy, but that is certainly where it got more challenging. It got harder. By NBA Nationals, we'd already been dieting for 36 weeks. Then we had another 6 weeks to go. Obviously, after all of those shows, no cheat meals, no off-plan meals, no nothing. Back on track as soon as each show finished. The last few weeks there, food certainly got low. I think the lowest we ended up getting was about 2,200 per day, which was low at that point. Body weight slowly trickled down to around sort of 84, 85 kilos from where we were about 87, 88 kilos on stage on most of those shows. 5 weeks went by and then it was time to fly to Boston. You've all seen the vlogs, you've all seen the YouTube videos, you know all the dramas, you know everything that went on in terms of that process of the travel. We flew out on Monday, the 18th of November, and I had that date ingrained in my mind because that was the date we were able to jet set off and head to Boston. By the time we landed, it was that Monday, Boston time, very late. We then had an amazing week of prep. AJ, my coach, came into town. I was able to get some awesome feedback from him in person, which was invaluable. Obviously then comes show day, Saturday the 23rd of November. Given that we'd already peaked 4 times, we had a lot of data. Obviously we were much leaner than we were those first 4 shows, but we had heaps of data to go off and we knew what we had to do in terms of carb up process, etc. It was just a matter of trickling in those carbs in the days leading up to the show, because we knew that was where my physique was going to look the best. I'm not going to talk about the intricacies of the show itself. Obviously, as you know, I placed 2nd in the light heavyweight division. This is the trophy that we've carted back from the US, had to buy another suitcase just to bring this back with us. So I was this close to getting my WNBF pro card. Obviously disappointing, however, the time will come and we know it's not far off. Next time I compete, obviously that's the goal. I obviously spoke a fair bit about WNBF Worlds in that show day video, so if you haven't gone back and watched it, please go and do that. I go much more in depth the lead up to the show day itself, and delve a hell of a lot deeper into it. To round out this video and 2024 recap video, if you had told me at the start of the year that I'd walk away with 2 pro cards, 2 Victorian titles, an Australian title, and place 2nd in the world, I would have said you're kidding. So to round out the 2024 competition season with that, I couldn't ask for much more. I think I've well and truly surpassed what I thought I could achieve this year, and to be able to travel to compete in Australia internationally is a pretty cool thing. So I'm very happy that I was able to document it all on the YouTube, all through the process. You've seen it all. So if you've stuck with me throughout this entire journey and watched all the videos from the year, I appreciate you. Plenty more YouTube content to come. Off season. The off season is coming up. I've got a baby on the way, so there's lots of content to come. But with that being said, please like, please comment, please subscribe. And I appreciate anyone that's watched this, anyone that's supported me throughout the year. You mean a lot. So we'll catch you in the next one.